All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope y'all are having a good day so far. So I had a couple of member requests to check out here today. And the first one is, this is from Secret Base from 7 years ago, okay? So we got an old one, but I think it's going to be a goodie because it is titled Jordan's Iconic Final Shot as a Bull Requires a Deep Dive. 1998 NBA Finals, Game 6. Yeah, I had no idea they actually did a deep dive just for this one shot. And considering everything that built up to this, I feel like this video should be way longer than it is, but I'm very interested to see what they have in store for us as far as this goes. Guys, as I always do, I'm going to link the original video down below in the description. You'll also see a list of channel members. Shout out to channel members. I often do get copyright strikes on Secret Base videos because of music they select, so super shout out to you guys. I appreciate you all. But this should be a fun one. Anyways, you guys, if you guys have not checked out Secret Base's channel, I highly recommend it. Like I said, the link is down below. Guys, like the video, I'd appreciate it a lot, and let's do this.
You probably know what's about to happen. We're in Salt Lake
Game,
City,
set,
Utah.
match.
It's June 14th, 1998. NBA Finals, Game 6 between the Bulls and Jazz. Time winding down. Michael Jordan has the ball. What are these people thinking? How are they feeling? What do they remember and expect? This is an iconic moment, but they don't know that yet. They only know what's behind them.
Yeah.
So let's rewind.
True.
Jazz Bulls.
How crazy is that idea right there? You're in one of the most iconic moments in NBA history, but you have no idea because you're living it right now.
98 is a finals rematch with an important twist. In 1997, the Bulls posted the best record in the NBA and thus had home court advantage in the finals. But this season, the Jazz have the same record as the Bulls, and they hold a tiebreaker because of a 24-point comeback that won them the regular season series with Chicago. So Utah has home court advantage. And this is the era of 2-3-2. So games 1 and 2 were at home. We're in Utah now, and if there's a game 7, that's going to be in Utah also. Playing at home means the Jazz got fireworks that might have been a little too loud. And Karl Malone got a pat on the butt from this perverted man bear. Utah was also relatively well rested going into the 98 finals. They had a tough first round against the old-ass Rockets, but coasted to easy series wins against young Tim Duncan and the Spurs, then young Kobe Bryant and the Lakers. The Bulls, meanwhile, were still sore from a 7-game slog against the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals.
And let's be real, they were sore for the entire year.
Utah took game 1 at home when Scottie Pippen missed a buzzer-beating 3, and the series stayed tightly contested from there. Every game has been close except game 3. We won't talk about game 3.
Of course, if this were a boxing match,
that's right.
Stopped it already.
Every time I see it, it just blows my mind. 96-54. You would think that would be it, right? Nope. They came back really strong.
Utah fell down 3-1 in Chicago, but gutted out a Game 5 win to take the series back home. So all that explains why we're here in Utah for Game 6, and why if the Bulls lose tonight, it's going to be pretty tough.
Why? Why is this in the background? Why?
In Game 7. The Jazz have a real shot at becoming the first ever team to come back from a 3-1 deficit in the NBA Finals. And I think there are more reasons to believe that Utah could win that Game 7. You'll notice that Scottie Pippen is alone. Karl Malone isn't even looking at him. That's because Scottie is toast. His back's been messed up since at least Game 3. Pippen got tons of treatment to try and get right for this Game 6. Then he went ahead and did this on the very first play of the game. And now he can barely move his upper body.
It looks like Scottie Pippen is laboring as he moves up and down the court.
He spent most of the first half in the locker room. Even after returning for the second half following treatment, Pippen can't help much and knows it. If this goes to a Game 7, it's hard to imagine Pippen being useful at all. And Bulls coach Phil Jackson doesn't have great alternatives. For now, he'd rather leave an injured Scottie out there than, say, Judd Bushler.
Fair enough.
So, yeah.
At least Scottie was a decoy.
Malone's not worried about his man. He's focused on Jordan, and why shouldn't he be? With Pippen hurt and point guard Ron Harper nursing a flu, MJ has done everything. He's attempted more shots in this game than the rest of the Bulls combined. And honestly, it's been a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Remember, this is a 35-year-old who got basically no rest between series and has been shouldering even more of the scoring burden than usual with Pippen hurting. MJ shot poorly during Game 5 and missed the buzzer beater that could have ended the series in Chicago. And here in Game 6, in another workday of over 40 minutes, Jordan's had some horrid stretches, hitting just 14 of his 34 shots so far.
Even Superman apparently.
Yeah, every time I've watched this game, those first 3 quarters were pretty brutal. Actually, I'm looking back at the numbers. I'm actually surprised the numbers were that decent. You know, it wasn't terrible, but yeah, Jordan was tired, dude. Everything was hitting front of rim.
He gets tired.
Until that fourth quarter.
And this guy, Brian Russell, has been pissing him off. Even in a bad shooting performance, Jordan has summoned the energy to ruin Russell a few times. Honestly, Russell might not be the right guy to guard MJ. Jordan cooked Russell to draw game-tying free throws with a minute to go. He cooked Russell to cut a Jazz lead to 1 30 seconds later. And, well, we'll get to this. I want to focus on the score at first. This game maybe shouldn't be this close right now. There are 2 calls that are going to haunt the Jazz if they can't pull this out. Back in the second quarter, Utah's backup point guard, Howard Eisley, buried a deep 3 right before the shot clock expired. Referee Dick Bavetta called a 24-second violation. It looks like he was wrong and Eisley got it off in time, but a play like that can't be reviewed in 1988.
Yeah, I was just about to say, back then, it's whatever the ref calls and it has to go. It's live.
There's more.
That sucks, though, for them. Utah fans, that sucks right there. That would have been a fair 3, I believe, if that was reviewed.
Pretty late in the fourth quarter, Harper found himself in a similar situation for the Bulls, tossed up an ugly runner and buried it just before time expired. Or did he? Sure doesn't look like it.
If they miss that call, it's a 5-point swing.
It's so blurry, so it's hard to see the ball, but you can see by his shooting motion, he pushed up after that 0.
In missed calls on shot clock situations.
So, yeah. That's 5 points worth of questionable calls that went against Utah.
Damn, my condolences, Utah fans. I didn't know about this. Good video.
Right or wrong, we're looking at a score of Jazz 86, Bulls 85.
Yep.
By the way, are you familiar with all these people we're looking at? We've got 5 future Hall of Famers on the floor. 2 of them will go on to wrestle this summer.
That's right.
We've got 2 sharpshooters who will one day become NBA head coaches. We've got Tony Kukoc, one of the greatest European
Hall
players
of Famer.
ever. We've got Russell, the man assigned to Jordan. And we've got this guy. This is Antoine Carr, a.k.a. the big dog. I'm not just pointing out Carr because he's large and lumpy and wearing his extremely dope tinted rec specs and I love him. He is, in addition to all those wonderful qualities, an important character to understand what happened immediately before this moment.
I don't know why. Me and my brother used to like to hate on Antoine Carr. Like, there's no real reason for it. We just did it. It's probably because he was in Utah.
Carr hadn't been playing much until the second half of Game 5. That's when Coach Jerry Sloan decided to change up his strategy a bit and let Malone work in the post instead of running pick and roll. Carr's got more range than any of the other Jazz centers, so he was swapped in to keep the floor spaced for the mailman, who could either go to work in single coverage or kick out to his shooters if he spotted Chicago sending help. And here in Game 6, Carr has still been hooping. It's wonderful. The extra spacing has indeed helped Malone dominate from that left block. He's lived there all game, bucket after bucket after bucket for 31 points on 19 shots. 7 assists, too, because Malone's found the open man whenever he sees a second defender coming. That's how John Stockton got the three-pointer that put Utah up 3 with 42 seconds left in the game. And after MJ cut that lead to 1, Malone was ready to go right back to work.
Yep.
He had the ball in his office and shooters, including Carr, all around him.
Predictable spot.
Identical to Utah's pet play from Game 5. If left alone, he could score. If he saw guys coming to help, he could kick it out again.
Yep, and Phil called it. Phil knew this play was going to happen and assigned Jordan onto the task. You know, go get it if you can.
But what about the guy he didn't see? That was Jordan. And Jordan knew where Malone would be looking to read the D and where his blind spot was. And he pounced.
To be fair, though, I mean, hold up.
Malone would be looking to read the D and where...
To be fair, the last thing you expect is someone to occupy the space. You know what I mean? To come up. You think all the weak side help's going to come in from these directions, you know? So you can't really blame Karl Malone on this one. I know it's fun to poke to poke at him because of who he is and all. And I do enjoy that. But in a basketball sense, I don't think any of us would have predicted that Michael Jordan was coming around the right to make a daring steal attempt like this.
Where his blind spot was, and he passed.
That fast, too.
And now, here we are. It's Bulls.
Here, it's a short video. Let me back it up a minute. Because let me see. How long after he catches?
Malone was ready to go right back to work. He had the ball in his office.
Okay, that's the
and
catch.
Shooters, including Carr, all around him. Identical to Utah's pet play from Game 5. If left alone, he could score. If he saw guys coming to help, he could kick it out again. But what about the guy he didn't see? That was Jordan. And Jordan knew where Malone would be looking to read the D and where his blind spot was.
So he literally had the ball in his hand for about a second and a half. So before he could even start looking for the weak side help, whether or not they're coming, Jordan already had the ball out of his hands. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was just one of those things. Jordan would have got the best of any of us probably in that situation.
And he pounced. And now, here we are.
Now we're in a moment.
It's Bulls ball, down 1 with time almost gone. If they blow this, the series goes to Game 7 here in Utah.
Yeah, with a broken Scottie.
Pippen's back is wrecked. Michael Jordan is 35 years old and pondering retirement, but he's doing everything for the Bulls. And it's starting to catch up to him. This has been another bad shooting night. But he sniffed out Utah's pet play and stole himself an opportunity. An opportunity to stick a final dagger in Brian Russell's back. An opportunity to end the series and possibly his career right here, right now. Okay, we've arrived. Welcome to this moment in history.
Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead.
You missed something.
Thank you for watching Rewinder. Some sports moments are so iconic, so familiar that they've basically become cliche.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to get around. We want to recreate what it was like to be there, anticipating the moment.
Okay.
If you have any thoughts for things we should do for future episodes, feel free to recommend them. And as always, please like and subscribe.
All right. In that case, the only thing I would add that I can think of off the top of my head was Jordan was coming up short with his jump shots up until this point, right? Up until I'd say like the last couple of minutes of the game, right? So, you know, Jordan 1 being coachable and Phil Jackson being a coach who coaches his guys, he did mention to MJ, hey, hold your form, hold your follow through. You know what I mean? That helps in these situations when you're coming up short. Why? Because Jordan had no legs at this point. The legs were dead. You know, they're dead tired from going on a three-peat at this point, not missing a single game. All that crazy Jordan stuff, Jordan had no legs left. So what happens then? Well, you end up coming up short. So you got to give it that extra push with the forearm and hold that form. And the crazy thing is when you go back to that last shot, Jordan wasn't doing that to show off. He was actually doing what Phil Jackson, his coach, basically said, hey, you should do this, MJ. You know, it's back to fundamentals at this point. You know what I mean? It's just a fundamental thing about the game. Follow through your shot. So, yeah, it's always funny to me because it just seems like it just adds to it because holding the form just shows like the confidence in the shot, like Babe Ruth calling out a home run, you know, to win a game. It's like the ultimate like bragging right, but the irony is he was doing it because that was the proper way to shoot the ball in that situation, to hold that form. Anyways, I'm going around in circles with it. I just always found it funny. Once I heard, I think it was in The Last Dance when MJ and Phil both told the exact same story. So you know it's true that Phil did in fact tell him, hey, hold up the follow through. You know, so it just ended up making the most iconic shot. Like it was already iconic, but the fact that he's still holding that form up, that follow through as the ball goes through the net, classic, man. It's just absolutely classic. Anyways. Oh, Secret Base. I love this channel, you guys. Go check it out if you enjoyed this one. Sorry this was a little bit short. I wish this was about like 3 times the length. Giggity. And, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Anyways, you guys, I am heading out for right now. I shall talk to you guys later for the After Dark. I got another members request for the After Dark planned. It's someone I generally don't get to talk about very often, especially in the off season. So it should be something different. So I'll see you guys there. See you in the comments before then. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this, and most importantly, is to be water, my friends.